Now, I just spoke about, my structure throughout my days, and so many people are like, "Oh, dude, you're so disciplined," and I was like, "This is just how I live my life." Like, this is the routine that I've created. Like, so many people say that I'm disciplined, but at the end of the day, like, my habits that I've built over many, many, many years make it seem like I'm disciplined. For me, that's the path of least resistance.
Yeah.
Like, it's easy for me to get out of bed at 6 o'clock and like roll straight into my morning routine, make my bed, take my waking heart rate, my blood pressure, my heart rate variability. Then I go and brush my teeth with my left hand, and then I go out onto, open the blinds, walk out on the balcony, get some fresh air, do 5 minutes of meditation. Then I, sit there and drink my coffee and like just watch a sunrise and let my thoughts run free. And then I'll go through and read and blah, blah, blah. Like, that's just become the path of least resistance. And, yes, I am disciplined, but I've built the habit of discipline. I've conditioned myself to do the right thing, even when I don't feel like it, over many, many, many years. So I want to ask you, like, what your routine looked like through that lockdown period. Obviously, living in Airbnbs, lots of uncertainty, now you've got a newborn child. Like, how did your life change from being, in your home environment, working on your business, to then being in an unknown environment, just having a child, being in lockdown, living out of a suitcase?
Yeah. So my morning routine was very similar to yours, mate. Just spending that first part of the day doing certain things that you're conditioned to do, that it's actually harder for you not to do them because you've become so accustomed to doing them and to introducing and including them as part of your day. Obviously, when you're in a new country and you're in a new location and you've got a new baby and all this kind of stuff, things become a lot more difficult. But regardless of that, it's trying to find certainty in that uncertainty. And to try and find some calm amongst the chaos. So as much as I could, I tried to replicate that as best as I could. So, in an ideal world, yes, I can get up when the sun rises, I can have my coffee, I can spend a little bit of time kind of, whether it's doing a little bit of breathing, a little bit of meditation, just doing a little bit of showing some gratitude or whatever's part of that routine, right? So ideally you've got a certain amount of time. Realistically, when you've got a baby, that completely changes because you don't know when they're going to wake up for a start. You don't know how much sleep you're going to get in the night. So it's finding the best way to implement what you can. So rather than saying, I don't have half hour this morning to do all these things, it's how much time do I have? Okay, I've got 5 minutes. Okay, I'm going to take some time for myself to focus on myself for these 5 minutes. Just to find some calm, just to find some stillness, and think about what you want to achieve, whether it's what you want to achieve for the day, whether it's just finding 5 minutes to have that cup of coffee away from all the chaos that's unfolding around you. Just giving yourself that time, putting yourself into that space, because unless you put yourself in that space, you can't think about the direction you go, and you can't solve problems. You can't make sure that you're heading to where you want to head. So it was basically a case of trying my best to stick to those same patterns. And in an ideal world, when someone would sleep until 7, I could get up at 6 and I could do all those things. I could have a really good start to the day. But when she wakes up at 5, and straight away you wake up and you're reactive, right? You don't get time to do all that. Now you've got a baby that needs to be fed, or that needs a nappy change, or that now is like running around the room non-stop as soon as she wakes up and demanding all of your attention. Okay? So as much as that previous routine, I'm trying slowly to kind of get back to it. Realistically, things are different now, right? So it's a case of making the best that you can in the situation, but still being sure to create that time for yourself to focus on an element of those things.
Yeah, that's great advice, mate. And, I'm experiencing this myself. I am quite structured, disciplined when I'm at home, in my own location, my own environment. I was in Russia for 6 weeks, had a really solid routine there, settled in, went straight into my normal routine, still waking up at 6 o'clock, would go for a walk on the beach, do some active meditation, etc., etc. Now I'm in Dubai. I've been in Dubai for a week, and like my whole circadian rhythm has changed because, obviously I'm here with Peter Yarn. We're in fight camp right now. He fights in a couple of weeks' time in Abu Dhabi. We're recording this on the 13th of October. He fights on the 30th. We've been in Dubai for a week, and our training times have changed. We were training in the morning at 10 o'clock and then 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Now we're in UAE. He wants to train as close to his fight time as possible, which is likely going to be 11:30 at night. So, like the first week, man, that we were here, my circadian rhythm was like completely thrown out of whack. My routine was all over the place, and I didn't do any work. I didn't record any podcasts. I had you booked in. I had to cancel. Had a number of other guests booked in. I had to cancel because I just didn't know what the fuck was happening, right? So again, I've had to find that calm in the chaos, as you said, and I haven't had time to go through my morning routine. I haven't been in a position to be able to do all the things that I know set me up for a really good day and put me on the front foot. But what I have been able to do is just take small pieces of each one of those elements. And if I'm up for an hour or two before I get that 5 minutes of meditation where I can find a quiet corner and create some stillness, then that's what I need to do, man. And it's been a completely different experience for me because this is the first time I've been in an environment where I'm living with a heap of people. Like there's 7 dudes here, man. There's like 4 professional fighters, 3 coaches, including myself. We're all living in this big apartment, so we're all on top of each other. And I haven't been in this environment since I was in the army, like 10 years ago when I got out. Basic training. yeah, exactly, man. So it's been a crazy different experience for me. But the first week that we got here, we're going to the gym at like midday, and then we're in the gym at like 8 o'clock at night. We weren't walking out until 10 o'clock at night. So then by the time we get home, we have a shower, have dinner, start winding down for the night, it's like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, man. And for me, I'm like, it's like completely thrown my circadian rhythm out of whack. But I've had to adjust my schedule. I've had to adjust how I do things when I do my meditation, when I create that stillness, wherever I can throughout the day. So I think that's an important aspect that people need to understand, is like, it's not this all or nothing mindset where, well, I can't get up at 6 o'clock and I can't be in bed by 10 o'clock at night, where like, obviously that's my ideal situation, but that's just not the reality of how I'm living right now. So I need to make those adjustments, and I need to find those things that are going to have the biggest impact on me, and then go, where can I add these things in? And for me, it is creating that 5 minutes of stillness through, whether that's, meditation on the balcony, or whether that might be a walking meditation where I'm not listening to anything. I'm not, distracting myself with what I need to do. I'm just kind of like letting my mind flow wherever it needs to go, man. And that's a big one for me, is being able to find that. I'm actually I've just finished reading the book, Stillness is a Key by Ryan Holiday.